Hi. Today we're going to be talking about a Doxa watch. It's a watch that I purchased in 2015. And I purchased it from a friend who had purchased it from the antiques fair, a local antiques fair here in Transylvania. And this particular watch, I'm lucky enough to know its provenance of sorts because it has an inscription on the back. Now, what can I tell you about it? I can tell you that it works great. I've had no problems with it whatsoever since I bought it. I even sent it in for a full service and checkup in late 2016, and no problems whatsoever were found. So the watch was just taken apart, cleaned and lubricated, put back together, sent back to me. And I've been wearing it occasionally since, like I do with all my watches, and it's just wonderful. I want you to notice the brand here, because it's not just a Doxa, it's a Doxa by Synchron. That actually helps us date it. So if we look online at the history of the Doxa company, we find out that it was founded in 1889 by Georges Ducommun. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm not sure. He began as a maker of dress watches, and this is a dress watch. And then they branched out into other things. You can also see that the brand has changed hands a few times. So between 1968 and 1978, Doxa became part of the Synchron company. So that tells us that this watch was made sometime between 1968 and 1978. And then again in 1978, Doxa was acquired by another company called Aubrey Freres. I'm guessing it's a French company. And then it was sold to a private owner. Here on Wikipedia it just says they were sold to the Jenny family in 1997. Now, I don't know who the Jennies are, but kudos to them for acquiring such a nice brand. Right. Now, here comes the interesting part, because if we look further online to find out some more history about Doxa, to try to date the watch, then there's just a bit of knowledge that says that the first two digits of the case serial number mark the year. Now they say that this is only for watches made between 1940 and 1965, but if I turn it over, and I'm going to do that just now. Right, so now the watch is on its back, and we can look at the inscription. Now, but let's pick up on that serial number, right? Let me tilt it slightly so you can see that's a serial number of the watch itself, and that I assume is a serial number of the case. Now, if we look at the first three digits, it says 73, so that possibly indicates it's the 238th watch made in 1973. And that jives or goes together with the other information that we found out about Doxa, which is that it was owned by Synchron, which is on the dial, between 1968 and 1978. So if this was made in 73, makes sense. Right, now let's look at the inscription. The inscription says the name of the company, IGM Fruška, I think is pronounced Fruška Gora. I don't speak. I looked online and understand that this is now Croatian. So I assume that this is the name of the company. IGM, I think, is sort of like an S.A. or like INC in the States. So it says za 30 G Rada. G is the year. If we look at Google Translate, I looked, and it's the year. It's the abbreviation for the year. So after or at 30 years of work. and the person's name was Novkovich S. And I assume that he retired in 1982 after 30 years of service. So you know how they used to give out gold watches at the end of somebody's career? Well, 30 years is definitely a career. I don't know if this is a gold watch because there are no stampings on it, so it's probably gold-plated. If it is gold-plated, the plating has held together very, very well. So I just want to point you to that Doxa by Synchron again, which sort of helps us to date the watch. So this is a 1973 Doxa that the company that this fellow worked for bought probably in that year or sometime after from the watchmaker, and they probably had a whole batch of them ready for when their employees retired. That's pretty cool. I don't think there's another company that does that these days. They give you a gold watch or a gold-plated watch on your retirement date. I don't think anybody works 30 years anymore for a company, so this is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let you hear the ticking now. It's a good, reassuring Swiss ticking. So, yeah, solid workmanship. Let me let you hear it when I wind it up. So, right. There we go. It's a watch that somebody got after working their whole life for a company. And I assume the fellow passed away, and then his heirs probably sold off the watch. I like to assume that they sold it off. I mean, I don't know how the watch made its way to Romania, but that's probably how it happened. And my friend found it here on the antiques market. Got it from either a private person or a dealer, I'm not sure. But I'm glad I have it. It's a lovely watch, and I'm going to continue to keep it in good shape and service it when it needs it, and yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.